On today's episode of Aqua Kids,
it's all about sustainable seafood and eating.
So, ready to make a difference?
Building a better planet starts with you.
Aqua Kids, traveling around the world, going where we've never been before, having fun and so much more, learning from our friends of the sea, saving them is up to you and me. Aqua Kids.
Hey everybody at home, and welcome to another exciting episode of Aqua Kids. I'm Drew.
And I'm Rachel. Today we're here at Rushing Waters Trout Farm in Palmyra, Wisconsin.
We're here to learn about sustainable seafood.
And then we're actually going to get a chance to cook and eat seafood that is good for both us and the environment.
Well, I'm hungry. Can we eat?
First, we actually have to get the fish from the farm, so we better get going.
All right. Rushing Waters Trout Farm is located in Palmyra, Wisconsin. Containing 56 ponds, it's the largest trout farm in the state. Their fish are always fresh and of the best quality. They supply to local markets and are available for delivery all over the country.
Welcome to Rushing Waters. We're standing here in front of Big Pond 1, where we add medium-sized fish and we grow them to about over a pound.
Cool. So what sort of maintenance does it require to keep the pond running?
We have to always be adding clean water, keeping the aerators going that add oxygen, and we cut the weeds by hand and remove them.
So how long does it take to raise these fish?
It takes about 18 months, sometimes a little bit longer depending on where they're located on the farm during the colder winter months.
What does it take to raise these trout?
We get eggs and we hatch the eggs and then we feed them. We keep them in clean ponds and tanks. And then we try to keep the fish about the same size due to food competition.
So did you have to build the facility yourself?
This facility has been here since about the 1950s, and we're continuously adding on and repairing and doing maintenance.
Yeah.
So what do you feed these fish?
We feed them an extruded pellet of different sizes, similar to dog food.
Wow.
Look at them go.
All right, well, I'm going to give it a try. All right, here you go.
Wow. So can people fish here?
We're open year-round, 6 days a week, and our ponds don't ice over.
Wow, nice. So your fish look really healthy and happy here at Rushing Waters. What is your philosophy?
We want to grow the best tasting, the best looking trout we can. We like to see it as a trout spa, not a trout farm.
So Dr. Michael, what is aquaculture?
Well, aquaculture is the farming of aquatic plants and animals, like fish, shrimp, and oysters.
So why is it important?
Well, aquaculture is important because people like to eat seafood. And it's very healthy for you. And there are two ways to get seafood. One, you can fish for it, or you can farm it. And because population keeps growing, there are more and more people on the planet, the amount of fish that we have in the ocean is kind of fixed.
Yeah.
So if we're going to feed more and more people with healthy seafood, we need aquaculture.
So you mentioned limits of overfishing. How bad is the population?
Well, some fish stocks are overfished, but we're working very hard in this country to end overfishing and to bring back our wild stocks. But even if we do that, we won't have enough seafood to feed our growing population.
I see.
So that's why there's this renewed interest, a new interest in aquaculture.
Okay.
Why is aquaculture sustainable?
Well, aquaculture is a very efficient way to produce food and protein. Remember, fish are cold-blooded, so you don't have to heat them. You don't need the energy to heat them. Plus, they don't have to stand on their own two legs like animals do. So they're very efficient at converting feed into muscle, and that's the part of the fish that we eat.
Yeah. So what types of seafood can you farm?
Well, fishermen and farmers farm various kinds of fish like salmon, trout, catfish. They also farm shrimp, as well as oysters, clams, and mussels.
Wow.
And also things like aquatic plants or algae.
So when you're raising fish, does it matter what you feed them?
Yes, it does. On the farm, we can control what goes into the fish feed, and we need to keep the fish healthy. So they need good ingredients that can come from the sea or from plants. They also need to be fed a diet so that when we eat the fish, we get those health benefits of eating the fish as well.
Oh wait, when it comes to shellfish like oysters, clams, and mussels, you don't have to feed them because they're filter feeders, right?
That's correct. Filter feeders, which are called mollusks, take algae and nutrients out of the water and use that for their own food, so they don't have to be fed. And at the same time, by taking those things out of the water, they actually clean the water. So that's a real environmental benefit.
Yeah.
In addition, oysters, clams, and mussels provide habitat for other kinds of critters that live in the sea.
So we've been talking about how these fish are raised. Can we see how it's done?
Sure, let's go to the hatchery. Drew will show us the hatchery.
All right.
All right. How many fish can fit into a fish hatchery? Find out next.